syrup. Art and syrup.
Alright. Good.
Yeah, hey again.
Again.
So let's start this thing.
Let's go for it, man.
Okay, some of you might already know this guy from another podcast of this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And today we are gonna be talking about art in different forms. But before we do that, why don't you introduce us all?
Oh, thank you. First of all, I really want to appreciate this whole moment and being there. I really thank you for that. And my name is Koosha, and should I talk about my artsy stuff or just talk about?
Sure, if you want to.
Yeah. I think I know myself as an artist because I have that spirit. At the same time, I think we're all an artist, but in different ways. I'm really good at making stories, telling stories.
What kind of stories?
I'm not into horror stories. I'm more into kinky stories. No, I'm kidding. Those are interesting as well. But I mean, any story, man. Like those. Do you remember those stories that we used to listen to when you were a kid and stuff?
Oh yeah.
There was so much morals and good conclusions about them that really intrigues me.
Right.
Still, I remember this morning I was telling you and Alex. By the way, we are recording this podcast after 15 kilometers of running. So
yeah, I cannot feel my knees.
Your knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, same feeling I have in my back. And but we had to pass the time somehow, and I started to tell Kay and Alex the story about, doesn't matter about what, but it was an unlucky man who goes through a journey. And you know what? I think just the fact that stories make us a little bit think more, or sometimes even think differently, in a way that it's just, you want to listen to a story, isn't it?
Right.
Isn't it better than someone come to you and they're like, you remember that story? At the end of it, you had a beautiful morals about it.
Yeah, for sure. I do remember that.
Let's just say someone come and tell you, hey, be a good guy. You know what I mean? Is that effective? Or you actually hear a story that how a good guy got rewarded, or like what happens to a good man and bad man? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. It's like you're trying to put the emotion into the story, and like we were talking about it yesterday. Like if you put an emotion into something, you are more likely to remember it for a long time. And the story got all these moments. It is funny, it is captivating, it is maybe sad at sometimes, and it makes you think as well. So you got all that explosion of emotions in a little time span.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's all about that, putting emotions, and it brings up those emotions.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you can relate to one of the characters and you're like, it could be me.
Right.
This happened, that happened. So yeah, I think that's where my art relies.
Would you want to create a story of your own?
Very good question. I would love to. I tried.
You did?
Yeah, I tried a couple of times before.
What was the story about?
It was a long time ago. I don't really remember the exact.
How old were you, approximately?
Oh, it was a few years ago. So I was 22, 3. Yeah, but my target was kids.
Right.
I was like, I want to write stories for kids. Because it's interesting that I tell you, I feel like when we were younger, like in those young ages,
right,
we have a raw brain. It's still, I mean, by raw, I mean, it's not fully developed,
right,
and it's just thirsty to absorb whatever we get during those early years. It sticks to us forever, man.
Right, like a sponge.
Exactly. And storytelling is a very powerful way of influencing people and, telling them what you think or leading their thoughts
Right.
towards where you want them to think about. And I used to sit and listen to my grandma telling me stories.
Oh.
Yeah, you ever had any of that
Like,
experience?
I personally hate my grandmother. She's done so much horrible stuff. She deserves it. So
Okay.
yeah, but the stories I was told only by my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But,
Oh yeah, I definitely know
you
that
sat
feeling.
and listened to the story, which is great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Especially before going to bed.
Oh, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? So, where was I going with this? That,
The children absorb everything.
yes. And I'm thinking it's a great way to influence people in their early ages. And, it's kind of like investing in a human being.
Oh yeah.
Whatever you do with a person at those young ages. You remember what we were talking about, or everything we were talking about, like the insights we get about life, and like, oh wow, if you breathe deeply into your heart, it really makes you feel connected with your heart. Or if you make a better dialogue internally, how the quality of your life will be better. And we know it at what age? Like 26, 7 right now? It's still great. We still have the whole life of us ahead. So it's great that we know it already. We're gaining those tools. But my kind of vision for kids is giving these tools to them in the first 5, 6, or let's say 10 years. I mean, as much as they can. Like, okay, when you get angry, here's a story about it. The angry guy who learned how to take in deep breaths. And he's not angry anymore. Or
Right.
something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just giving them tools like that, and I think they'll be more at ease during their lifetime, because at school they didn't teach me this stuff.
Oh yeah, same here. And it's so much easier to absorb this kind of information when you put it into a story. Yeah, because some of the concepts, they could be too abstract for kids or for people in general. And putting that into a specific example could be much more easier for kids to understand.
For sure. And you always think that kids are your audience, but it happened to me a lot that grown-ups actually sat and listened to the stories too, because it's just something you'll like. You know what I mean?
Maybe we are all kids inside.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
We just act like adults.
I definitely have a kid inside of me who's overplaying sometimes.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. So, what else do you do? I know you're doing meditation sometimes.
Yes.
Want to talk about that?
Sure. I mean, it's more than sometimes I do that. It's a everyday habit.
Right. No, I mean, like you create a content for people actually. Right.
Yes, that also is something I find it very meaningful. That hey, when people close their eyes, they're more concentrated and in themselves, like inwards, because there's so much distractions around you. You know what I mean? Even if in this studio, like home studio we have in here, if I can just look around, like, oh, what a great corner. Oh, look at that. Is that from Africa? You started thinking about things outside of yourself.
Right.
So one thing I really love about meditation is just, it's supposed to be done with your eyes closed. So when you're having your eyes closed, no distraction. Maybe it's coming from my ego, I don't know. But I love it to talk to people's ears when they have the absolute attention to what I'm saying, you know what I mean?
And you definitely have the voice for it.
Thank you.
Like I remember my first experience listening to Koosha's meditation. We have this little workout group and it was summertime. We would sit under the tree and Koosha would start his meditation, and me and the guys would be very excited, like, "Yay, it's meditation time!" And I would just listen to his voice, like whatever he's saying, I'm down with whatever he's saying. Just keep talking, bro.
That's awesome, man. Yeah,
that was amazing. Do you remember your very first experience, like very first encounter with meditations?
Never thought about it. That when was the very first time? I knew that I really was a curious person in terms of spirituality and everything, and meditation kind of came along my way, along that journey I was taking. That's a whole different story. But I want to say meditations, guided meditations, is a type of storytelling.
I guess it is.
Don't you think so? Yeah. You're telling a story in a different way. You're like, okay, close your eyes, now put your attention to your head, and then bring it. You know what? How about we do a quick meditation?
Sure,
for
I'm
your
down.
audience?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're driving, that's better not do that.
Do not close your eyes if you're driving.
But if you're just sitting somewhere, you have a situation, let's just close your eyes and take a deep breath through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And immediately you feel that release on your shoulders. Just drop it down and bring your attention to your body. See how it feels. Do you have a full tummy, feeling hungry? Or if there's any pain somewhere, just notice it, if there is, and if not, great. Also notice that one. Taking another deep breath and exhale through your mouth. Beautiful. And I want you to bring your attention to your forehead. Just loosen it up. Let those muscles rest. Rest your facial muscles. No effort. No tension. Only relaxation. Bringing that attention down to your neck, to your chest, your shoulders, your arms, the rest of your hand, both of them, to your back. Just release. And right now, I want you to taste your mouth. Even though it's empty, there's no food into it, but just move your tongue in there. It's still tasteful. Bring your attention back to your waist. Thighs, your knees, especially you, gay, you have some pain in your knees. Let that all go. The rest of your feet. Taking another deep breath and take all the positivity around you through your nose. And blow it all out. And open your eyes whenever you're ready.
Damn, bro. That was good.
Was it?
I just felt like I just woke up.
Right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a different feeling when you
Right,
open
right.
your eyes. You're like, what?
Wow. So do you do them often?
Like meditations?
Yeah.
Like for myself, I do, but creating them, I should be back on track on that, because no, not as often.
Right.
Yeah, but it's even enjoyable for myself when I'm doing it. So
Ooh.
good.
Gotta
good.
take a sip from my huge
Water
bottle.
bottle. Good. I'll take one too.
So, how long you been in Canada?
Oh, I celebrated the 4th year.
Oh, right. It was 25th?
24th of March.
Right.
Yeah, I came here March 24th in 2017, and it's 4 years already.
Oh, shit.
Passed like a snap.
Right. And for our listeners, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Iran. Born and raised there, and moved here when I was 22. Wow, I was 22.
Yeah. Time
Was
flies,
I
huh?
22? Yeah, I was 22 now, 26. I'm getting into 27th in a month.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah.
Well, it's May 15th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
yes, yes. Thanks for that.
Uh,
Yeah, that's how long I'm here in Canada.
So, have you met any people in Canada that are into art?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, indeed. I've seen actually one of the artistic persons I know is actually you.
Me?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, the art of making music instantly, right from scratch.
Oh,
Yeah, because honestly, the first time I always wanted to have my own song and everything. And the first time I came to you and you were like, "Do you have your lyrics?" I was like, "No." "Do you have your beat?" He's like, "No, but I can have it right now. What kind of beat do you like?" I'm like, "Okay, I want it to be instrumental with guitar and stuff." "Okay, sure. How about this? Or maybe not. Sure, yeah. Put this together." Meanwhile, when I see that it's possible to build something from nothing, like in the moment, I was like, maybe I can write some lyrics too. And then I started to writing, and yeah, that takes a lot of art, I guess.
Right,
Of
right.
course.
Yeah.
I guess.
but you were
I
done
believe.
with the lyrics within 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It was pretty good.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks. But, before that, I was like, I need to be a poet to write a lyrics, and, But when I see someone like you, that you're like, come on, don't overthink it, just put it out there. It's an inspiration. I guess that's what I'm saying, that we all are artists, but a lot of us just thinking we're not good enough, or who's gonna listen to us, and all that destructive thoughts, which I'm also dealing with too. It just makes us stay in our shells, and nobody hears about us. I'm pretty sure, yes, there are famous people in art and even singing and everything, but there are even better people. But they're just not confident enough. Or I'll put it this way, they were stingy as fuck that they didn't share their talent, their art with the world. And of course, you wouldn't be recognized.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would you advise to those people who are afraid to come out of their shell and show their art to other people?
Wow. Dude.
Like if I'm the guy and I have some paintings, for example, I have lots of pictures, but I really think that it's trash and nobody will like it.
Well, I think what you believe is really matter. You believe it's a trash, and doesn't matter even if you put it out there and somebody comes wash the painting, you're like, oh, I'll pay for this $1 million, and you're like, no, just have it. It's just nothing. It's, you know, your belief doesn't even let you to receive what you what it might worth for another opinion, you know,
Right.
another person's view. So I guess it goes down to changing those beliefs within us. But I get it. Since I'm struggling with this kind of thoughts and stuff too, I'm like, but it's not that easy changing my belief. Is that a click that I just put and belief change? No, it's not like that. But I remember the first time I had my podcast on, I was one of those ones that like, yeah, people say I have a nice voice and everything. I enjoy this. But who's gonna come listen to me? Come on, buddy. Who does? And I've been forced to put it out there somehow. Yeah. And then I started to receiving comments that people are like, oh, this is dope, and come do this and do that. I was surprised. Oh my God, people actually gave a shit. They you know, they listened to it. But still, that belief is gone or not. I think as long as you don't see any worth of your work,
Nobody will.
even if they will, you still can't see it. You're like, oh, you know what? Let me be transparent here. Even, you remember I told you I've been forced to put that podcast out. And even when I received the comments about that, I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's nice and all. I'm surprised, but I think that person, you know, called her friend to come and leave this comment here. You see how your mind could be tricky. Leave a comment here to just, you know, I don't know, just to push me or just to say she's right. Oh my God. It's a very sick way of thinking.
Wow.
You're like, why? But it's the power of your beliefs that just they want to be right. They're like, this belief is what I'm sticking to. So whatever else is going against it, I'll find a way. I'll turn around, find a way to see what kind of trick is there that, oh, they're calling their friends to leave a comment there, or those. It's crazy. But honestly, that's exactly what went into my mind. That's why I'm like, it's important.
That would be such a good friend if he actually or she would actually call like 100 other people to just watch or listen to your podcast. Can you imagine the amount of work she would have to do?
Oh, yeah. And I don't think that they are, you know, they have other stuff. They have a life.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's so funny when I'm saying it out loud, but in my head it sounded more real.
Yeah, I guess that's why we have to share, to actually listen to what the thoughts in our head actually sound like. And sometimes, like you said, it sounds totally normal in your head, but when you actually share it with somebody else and you listen to it, you think, what the fuck? Like,
right?
Am I really thinking that?
Yes.
That's crazy.
Like, yeah. It sounds stupid when you say it out loud. Not all of them, but some of them. That's why you're like, am I really believing that? Yeah.
So, why do you think people do art in general?
Why?
What's the drive?
Got a good question.
Like, for example, you, why would you want to share the stuff that you do with other people? Or why do you want to create it in the first place?
Wow. It's probably the first time I'm thinking about it, but first thing comes to my mind is I want to express myself, man. This art, or the way I choose to express myself, is my art. And if I don't, I just feel like I'm holding something in.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I want to put it out there somehow, or manifest it, materialize it, or something, because it's my emotions, it's my desires, it's the way, my point of view to the world. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm a big believer that we are living in the same place, in the same world, and each of us, it doesn't mean that we are having the same experience, though. Each and every person, they're unique in their own ways, and even unique in their view to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So by putting my art out there, I'm letting others know that, hey, come and see the world from my perspective.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's just not because it's mine and it's good or whatever. It's just about that sharing, man.
Right.
Sharing. And
It's like a way to connect to other people. Like some people could be very in their shell, very closed from the outside world. Like, what's the word? Extrovert, introverted? Yeah, and like I know a few people who are like that, and they are very into arts. But I think that making art is like a way to connect to other people, because we're very social. Even if we are introverted, we don't like talking to other people, or we feel uncomfortable. I still think that even introverted people would need that kind of connection to others. You know what I mean?
yes,
Just by sharing
exactly.
their art, like you said, this is like my world and
Yeah.
what I have inside.
I show them to others.
Mm-hmm.
I got really stuck into idea of how to make money from my art. I gotta make it a business, or, you know, because of that, it really prevented me to actually go ahead and do something, because I was like, oh, I gotta make money from podcasting. I gotta make money from, I don't know, making meditations, everything. And I think I never thought about it this way, that, hey, I just want to connect. Just want to connect and share, or more just express myself, man. Expressing myself. I didn't prioritize it over the money thing and the business thing and stuff like that. That's why maybe I kind of like the idea that people are talking about, oh, have your business and do your art on the side.
Right.
Don't mix it up with, you know, trying to make money in the first hand from your art, because it's kind of sacred, man. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm like, meditations and all these things, we're talking about human mind and human souls that you want to touch, and just that feeling you experienced right now. You kind of lost it for a moment, and we came back. And how can you put a price on it? You know what I mean? Let's say, how much that experience worth for you? I mean, you don't have to say a crazy amount, but if you wanted to.
Like if I put it in money.
Yeah.
Let's say I have lots of money.
Yeah, you have endless money. But you don't have to spend it all on that meditations.
I'm paying $1 million for that experience.
Yeah, maybe $10. I don't know how much.
Like if I look at it objectively, maybe I would pay for it around.
Think about that feeling.
Yeah, if maybe if it was prolonged to around half an hour, maybe $100. Like,
Okay.
Seems fair.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Like I imagine something like a group of people doing the same type of meditation, and you have some guy or a gal who is very experienced at it and knows where it's going, and knows how to lead people.
Wow.
Yeah, then that would be a very different experience.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. Yeah. I think you can put a price on it, but at the same time, I don't think if that works, if
Like mixing up it with money?
I mean, it's okay.
Mm.
I'm not against it, but if that's your first drive or the only drive, it doesn't work. You gotta have a bigger reason than that.
Right.
Because first of all, money doesn't come with it in the beginning.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and just more talking to myself that, hey, dude, find a better reason to put your art out there, or see it as an expression, see it as a...
Find a better why.
Find a better why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about money things,
Mm-hmm.
how do you think, or what do you think a person should do to become successful in art world?
Oh, wow. Oh, you mean successful? You mean earning money from their art?
Sure. Like, or become popular. But I guess it's all connected.
First of all, is publishing it, man. Make it execution with no or close to zero sense of insecurity. That, oh, I might put it out there. Some people will come and say, wow. And some people will come and say, like, what is this? Who do you think you are? Why do you put it out there? You are risking to get rejected. You're risking of being criticized. You're risking also to winning. You know what I mean? It's kind of a risk.
Right.
But it's a great one, because you said becoming successful, you got to put it out there and see what the feedbacks are. Some people are like, okay, they're smart enough. They're like, okay, maybe there's stuff that I need to improve on. And I also know an artist that they put their work out there and they're like, I'll wait for the right audience. They come and see and appreciate this.
Right.
And sometimes it happened in their lifetime. And I know a lot of artists, man. I'm pretty sure I can't drop any names right now, but the artists at those times, like in a history, people that were living at their lifetime, they didn't find any value into their work. You know what I mean? But after their death, 100 years after that, now you're like, wow, this painter, look what they did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So as long as you're not stingy, quote unquote, I really find it stingy when you're just keeping it all to yourself.
Right.
Right people will find it anyways, but I want you and everybody else to think about it, that they might not even happen in this lifetime. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But you came and you played your song. You know what I mean? I kind of want to see it as a music, that everybody, having their own unique song. And if you just keep playing it to yourself, okay, there's nobody out there to dance with it, but so many dancers out there are waiting to hear your song.
Right.
And they're like, oh, wow, I didn't even know I can move my booty like that because this song is so good. And yeah.
So you gotta share whatever you created. But what would you do if, like, you're trying to share, but you don't actually get any views from anybody? It's really hard to get discouraged by it.
Yes.
How do you keep yourself in it? How do you keep posting this stuff? In your opinion?
In my opinion, yes. I know it's very easy to get discouraged in the beginning. You're like, oh, they don't appreciate me yet. They don't see me. They don't see me. But especially these days, we're talking about the age of marketing. We're talking about the age of advertising. They're just, yes, putting it out there is great, but it's just not enough. at least in these days. You need to market it, man. You gotta, and marketing doesn't mean selling it. You don't have to sell it, but you gotta do your best to make it visible to as much as people you can. It's just being out there. There's millions of content on internet right now. That's the way we publish our stuff, right?
Right.
And we gotta put it in every stream possible. And just being able to market it, man. I remember a person was telling me that, hey, you got to start, at least for the beginning, send out your podcast or send out your art, however, whatever that is, personally to people you know, or sometimes you don't know. It really works for your warm market, the people that you already know. Just send it out to them and tell them, hey, I would really appreciate you go and take a look and take a listen, or like it for me, leave a comment for me, and personally ask one by one from the people in the beginning, and then some of them liking it, some of them not, and then starting to, the ones that they're liking it, they become your advocates, man. Oh my God, having audience is great. Having raving fans are even better. You know what I mean? Because they're go above and beyond. Because they love you too much. They're like, oh, I'm gonna tell my friends. Okay, just whatever you need, and I'll bring my friends to your events. You just put it out there. We love you. We just want to come, and you know what I mean. So you are looking for those kind of people. And I don't know if you heard about the rule of 20-80.
Nope.
You know, 100% is the whole thing.
Right.
80% and 20%.
Right.
That 20%, it works in a business, it works with everything. That 20% is exactly the amount you can count on, you can earn money from, you can just, everything you want, it comes from that 20% of the whole audience you have, or the whole followers you have, or, you know, the people who views your stuff. That 80%, they're there, they're doing their job just by being there.
Right.
So you're looking for those people in the 20%. So that's my advice, to send it out personally, man.
Right.
Send it
And
out
kind of
personally.
be ready for the fact that majority of people would just pass by and would not be interested in whatever it is, like the 80%. Which
Yes. You're waiting for that 20%. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. And you gotta kind of create that, not just sit and wait.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Gotta create some quality stuff.
Quality stuff, quality connection, quality fans. It's a little different. The concept of art these days are a little different. It's not like that you're, you know, painter and you put one exhibit a year and everybody is talking about you and stuff like that. Today, you gotta work for it to become someone.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of just had this random thought, like when you scroll some Instagram feed from other people, especially about art, kind of makes me sad when all the views get, like, there are girls, for example, that would create something like a picture or play some music. And you would mostly see the girls who are just showing their boobs during the play.
That's an art.
It's an art of showing boobs. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mind. I love boobs, but it's just there are other people there, and there are less viewers for that. Like the majority is
For
just
sure.
going after sexy stuff.
Sex sales.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
That's the ugly truth.
Yeah.
It's not that ugly, honestly. Oh, that's the truth. Yes.
Yeah.
But good stuff doesn't get that much of a exposure. Good stuff, or whatever that me and you think is good, for somebody else is that booby stuff is the best thing in the world, and they're like, oh wow, I just want to follow that. Good, let them follow that. That's what I'm saying, that you will find your followers anyways.
Right.
It takes more time because it's easier to grab people's attention for your boobs.
But what do you think? Because you constantly see the stuff on social media that is like dumb, for example, or say somebody just opening up a bottle and
Yeah.
this thing gets like millions of views, or like how I drink juice and people watch that stuff
They
against
do.
something like some tutorials on how to draw or how to create a sculpture, that those things get less views. Why is that? Why do people tend more towards?
It's a very good argument because I thought about it before and I was like, oh, people are just stupid. But now that you were just asking me, I was like, maybe not. Because their level of understanding is more the same one with that bottle. Not just level of understanding. I'm not trying to say people are stupid, but I'm just saying they get it better because they dealt with it in their everyday life.
It's more familiar.
It's more familiar. It's not that heavy to take, you know? It's just easy to watch, and easy stuff, simple stuff, not easy. Simple stuff really get more exposure.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess if you want to get more exposure, make sure whatever
Simplify
you do
it.
is simple. Yeah. It's like even with the songs, because I've been working a lot with the songs, and there has been this advice: just keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
And like even I find among my songs, I like the ones that are more simple. Even if I put more time and attention to the other ones and made them more complicated, I still like the more simple one, because you don't have to strain your brain to listen to it and you just relax.
Yes, exactly. And that's what we're all after, you know? I don't want to burn extra calories. For,
Yeah.
You know, I'm just...
We're lazy as fuck.
We are. And that's the truth. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Especially these days that, you know, the attention span is 5 to 7 seconds.
That's crazy, bro.
It's crazy. And it wasn't used to be like this.
Uh-huh.
But now, in the first 5 seconds, you got my attention, I'll sit and listen.
Right.
If not, sorry, I'm scrolling down because everything is on tip of your finger. You know what I mean? You're like, I don't like it. Scroll.
Right. And it's even in movies, like when you watch a movie or animation, for example, you see the scenes change every 4 or 5 seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, for example, a dialogue, somebody is saying something, and then like, bam, change of scene from a different perspective, a different perspective, same thing, different perspective. It's just we crave those changes, and if it's not changing for like 10 seconds, we get bored.
Easily. Yeah.
This is crazy.
This is.
Wow.
It kind of works for the people like me that has a personality who'll crave for variety. I'm like, okay, I kind of like that, but I know it's more challenging.
Right. All right.
Yes.
So we are out of time on this one, so let's finish it up.
For sure. Yeah.
And thanks a lot, Kush, for joining this podcast, the very first episode.
Thank you. It was a pleasure, honestly. Yeah. Art syrup.
Art and syrup.
Art and syrup. Yes. Beautiful. We had some juicy stuff for the syrup part, and we talked about the art in the beginning. So.
Right.
Art and syrup.
Thank you.
All right.
Art and syrup. Art and syrup.